Hey guys, this is Skuff TV, fresh back from the snow. In this week's episode, we're going straight over to the UK for the finals of the Redbull X-Fighters, where American Nate Adams not only managed to dust off Aussie's Levi Sherwood in the finals, but also walk away with the series title.
Redbull X-Fighters rolls into London for the final stop in the 2009 World Tour. 4 riders have the opportunity to win here in London, and they're led by Tour points leader, Nate Adams. Hot on Nate Adams' heels is the Japanese rider, Mr. Consistency this year, Ego Sato. Just 5 points behind Sato sits the Australian phenom and distance jumper, Robbie Madison. The final of the 4 riders in the chase for the 2009 World Tour title is the 2008 champion, Swiss rider, Matt Redbull. But before any of these 4 riders can claim the title, they have to make their way across London to Battersea and the incredible Battersea Power Station. Battersea was London's main power source for 50 years, but for the last 25 years has laid dormant. That's all about to change here this weekend when the power comes back to the power station. If any one of the top 4 riders wins here at Battersea, they win the entire World Tour, so the pressure is on. Queen Elizabeth reigns at Buckingham Palace across the river. But here in Battersea, this is about to become the Palace of FMX. So with the boys all loosened up here in London, we suggest you do like Chris Burge. Take a seat and join us for Redbull X-Fighters.
This was the main power station that supplied, London and so many other places. It's one of London's most iconic venues. It's the coolest place to come in, the coolest area. It's amazing to come in and do an event at Battersea. It's just cool beyond all belief.
When I first came to the whole place, I was tripping. Like, this place is like so old and ancient looking. It looks like a scary haunted house or something, like Frankenstein will be in here. So
it's got all these old things and instruments everywhere, so I just want to go over and touch them and play with them, but then, I get all nervous that they're going to fall apart, so I won't. But
Redbull always takes it to famous places and wherever they go.
It's unbelievable.
to build a freestyle motocross course out of here, it's just absolutely breathtaking.
8 weeks ago we started bringing in dirt and moving dirt around and making areas good, so we've been here nearly every single day. Trying to transport regular dirt to this place in the middle of London would take us months and months and months and cost millions, so we have to get creative. And believe it or not, this is crushed concrete, so it's not dirt that you dig out of the ground. We just crush concrete, break it down and sieve it until it binds together, and then we can make a course out of it. We create the whole mass, which is around 5,000 tons of bricks underneath the course, and then we put the fines on top of it, and then if it rains, it's going to hold within the bricks and not on the course.
Yeah, I've seen the track. Looks pretty easy, looks fun, basic, not really a lot of thinking.
I think a lot of guys will be freaked out the fact that we've got to ride out there and jump through a window.
The scariest thing looks like the drop through the window thing that they got there.
The view that they get as they ride out of the building, they're jumping out of a 3rd story window of one of the biggest buildings in Europe, so it's going to be scary.
The fifth and final stop of the Redbull X-Fighters 2009 World Tour would bring us to London and the amazing Battersea Power Station, where the 20,000 English fans in attendance were treated to a spectacular show of freestyle motocross. Swiss rider Matt Redbull took the course against Robbie Madison, where either of the two riders could take a win on the night and would win the world title. Redbull's riding was spectacular, and Robbie Madison was nervous until this, a flat tire, would cause him to come short on one of the jumps in a terrifying crash. But Redbull would get up and leave on his own 2 feet to get some medical treatment, which left Madison to advance through the semifinal against Nate Adams, one of the other riders who was in contention for the world title that night. Madison looked good, pulling some huge extensions and some massive tricks. But then, after the big course transfer, his bike would stall, causing him some problems, until he got to the same ramp where Matt Redbull had his crash, and that was enough to let Adams advance. Ego Sato was in a quarterfinal round against Danny Torres. Sato has had an amazing year and advanced out of the first round to pull the hugest tricks we'd seen on the night. Unfortunately, Ego couldn't pull his lazy boy backflip, and that was the nail in the coffin that let Torres go through. Brandon Hartley, the 17-year-old from New Zealand, showed just how much fun you can have in an F1 car. Up against the other 17-year-old Kiwi was Danny Torres against Levi Sherwood in the semifinals. Torres had had a fantastic week in London and was pulling out some amazing riding and incredibly extended tricks. Take a look at this. The Twitch Indian Air to Saran Wrap whipped out an unbelievable trick. But even tricks like this, the turn down, were not enough to take Torres through, and Levi Sherwood would advance through to the finals. Levi Sherwood is the rubber band kid. He has incredible extension and unbelievable flexibility. But maybe the only knock against Sherwood in his 2-minute finals run was that he pulled too many tricks that were too similar. But Sherwood was claiming it in front of the crowd, hoping to take Adams down. With the win against Robbie Madison in the semifinals, Nate Adams had already claimed the World Series. Here, he pulls one of his signature 360 tricks, the only rider in the field pulling 360s, which the judges would almost certainly reward. But tonight, even Adams was having some troubles. But not on this transfer. Look at the huge knack-knack, and this, the big cliffhanger to stage dive. Not even checking the bars as he comes down to the landing. Adams was a little bit concerned, so it was down to our 5 judges to make the decision. And their decision, Nate Adams, #1 in London. So as the 2009 series wound down, the champagne would fly, and Nate Adams would celebrate a double win at Battersea.